Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's the first time you're visiting. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to be reviewing something a little bit different today, and it is Zara's newest release. Now, the other versions of this perfume were very hyped across all of social media, so when I saw they dropped a summer version, I knew I had to purchase it instantly. So without further ado, I am going to be reviewing the new Zara Red Temptation, but it is the summer version. And they did release a winter flanker, which had really great reviews. But the reason why I wanted to pick up the summer version is I saw the notes of peony, amber, and praline. And I guess curiosity just got the better of me. Zara do some absolutely incredible fragrances at great prices. So let's talk about Zara Red Temptation Summer. First of all, I think the packaging is really nice. For the price point, it's really simple, but actually it looks pretty luxurious in my opinion. And in terms of the price, this is an 80ml bottle and it retails for $19.99 in the UK. That is GBP. And then the bottle looks like this. So let me give you a close-up. I'm just going to put the lid on. So this is the bottle. I think it's very chic and understated. Doesn't look cheap, but equally doesn't look super expensive. But what I will say is the bottle holds some weight, which I think is really nice. Now, if you don't know, and I'm sure many of you already do, Red Temptation is supposed to be similar to Maison Francis Kirk de Jean's Baccarat Rouge. And I personally think the original Red Temptation is very similar to Baccarat Rouge. It definitely is within that same DNA. So if you want to save yourself some coin, then it's a great option to pick up. But how does the summer version compare to that scent profile? I'm sure many of you will want to know. Well, I have some thoughts on that, but let me talk you through the notes within this fragrance first. So I'm just going to read you a snippet from the Zara website. It says, limited edition packaging, a blend of inner strength and charm expressed in an amber floral bouquet with a delicious addictive character. When used on the skin, the sophisticated brand finds the balance between delicate freshness of rose petals and juicy raspberry with lychee fruits. In the base notes, the subtle facets of praline blend with the magnetism of musk, bringing a hypnotic texture. And that really sold me because I love all of those notes that it spoke about in the fragrance. But in my head, I was like, how is this going to link to the original Red Temptation? So I'm just going to read you the notes of the original Red Temptation just for a comparison point. So it has saffron, coriander, bitter orange, and floral notes. It has jasmine, praline, amber, and musk. So you can already see the notes are a little bit different. There are some similarities within there, but in my opinion, they are quite different. So let's test the fragrance, and I've already been doing a little bit of testing today, and please bear in mind that this is just a first impression at this point. I've already sprayed it, so I'm just going to quickly smell the dry down. This is a really gorgeous fragrance straight off the bat, so let me just do an initial first spray again. The opening is very, very juicy. You're absolutely getting the peony, you're getting the lychee. I am getting a sweetness, whether or not that's from the praline, I'm not sure, but it's a very sweet fragrance. And it also has a beautiful airy quality about it, which I guess is where the similarity to Baccarat Rouge comes in, because to me, Baccarat is a very airy, sweet spun sugar vibe. But I do not feel like they hold that much similarity. I would say this has about a 25% similarity to Red Temptation / the Baccarat Rouge DNA. Which to me is actually a good thing, because what this smells more like to my nose, and I had to compare them, is when I initially sprayed this on my hand, I was like, okay, this smells like something really similar in my collection. I think it's this particular fragrance, but I want to go and test the other one on the other hand. And I can confirm, to my nose anyway, that Red Temptation Summer smells extremely similar to Ex Nihilo's Fleur Narcotique, and actually when you read and compare the notes, they do share a similar scent profile. However, Fleur Narcotique is very strong and very potent, and it's almost a little bit more sour, but I would say that Red Temptation Summer holds about a 75% similarity to Fleur Narcotique. So if you do want to compare it to anything, what I would say is I feel like Red Temptation is a combination of these two fragrances. Ex Nihilo's Fleur Narcotique and the original Baccarat Rouge. Now, I just wanted to reference these two fragrances just so you have a bit of an idea. You may have already smelt both of these, you may have not, but if you do want to research them for more reviews online, it could give you a bit of a reference point because, of course, Red Temptation Summer is still very new and there's not many reviews out there yet. But as a standalone fragrance, I actually think this is really pretty. Now, it is definitely a little bit lighter, and I assume that is because it's the summer version. But it's a beautiful, light, airy, I would say feminine, sweet, and sugary fragrance. It has the airiness, like I mentioned, but then it's a beautiful bouquet of peony. It has that sweetness coming from what I think is that praline note, and you definitely pick up a kind of musky, ambery base, but it's not too intense at all. It's definitely a little bit more wearable. Now, I do think this leans a little bit more feminine than the original Red Temptation and also Red Temptation Winter. Of course, anyone can wear whatever fragrance they wish, but this one is very interesting as I feel they took a little bit of a different direction. I think this would be an extremely mass appealing scent. Now, as for the longevity, I haven't tested it enough to tell you how long it lasts, but what I will caveat that with, even if this lasted 4 hours on the skin, I would really not mind respraying this because the price point is just that good. You could easily decant some out and carry it around with you, but I'm sure if you overspray it, then it will last really well on clothing anyway. Now, I am waiting for the queen, Coco Pebs, on YouTube to review this one because she reviews Zara fragrances quite often, and I feel like she will be able to give some really great reference points too. Now, if you watch my YouTube channel and you like fragrances similar to me, then I think you would probably really like this one. This could have fit perfectly in my video where I did my favorite feminine fragrances. It slots in perfectly there. Fleur Narcotique from Ex Nihilo is definitely one of my favorite fragrances within my collection. So I'm really happy to have this one as a backup option. I'm probably actually going to try layering these. The one note I don't really pick up on is the raspberry. I mean, maybe it's there in the background because it has got a sour quality, but I feel like lychee can pull a little bit sour. You could almost pick out a tiny bit of the Delina DNA in here too. The kind of sourness you get from the rhubarb and the lychee. But I did do a little bit of a tester and I sprayed Fleur Narcotique on my hand and then I layered Baccarat Rouge over it. And I felt like it gave a similar vibe to this one. However, it was a lot more intense, which is not surprising given those price points. However, this is a summer flanker and I feel like this is the perfect kind of scent profile and airiness for summertime. So would I recommend Red Temptation Summer by Zara? I definitely would recommend it. I think, as I mentioned, for the price point, it is a fantastic option. It doesn't smell cheap at all. It's a beautiful composition. To my nose, it actually smells very niche. And I just love these types of scent profiles. I just can imagine wearing this on a first day, or I'm going for like a picnic in the park, maybe a girl's brunch. This is totally the type of fragrance I would reach for those occasions. What are your favorite fragrances from Zara? Please do let me know down in the comments, just in case I haven't already tried them. I would love to go out of my way and test them. I already have a few favorites from Zara myself. I love Ebony Wood, I love Rose Gourmand, I do love Red Temptation too. So I would love to hear your thoughts on what fragrances you love from Zara's collection. And also, will you be picking up the new Red Temptation Summer? Please do let me know down in the comments. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different from what I normally do, but I thought, new release. I don't normally review Zara fragrances on my channel, so it's mixing it up a little bit. But I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all soon.